and the Fonz. There were no blacks on that show. Oh, that's why they called it Happy Days. Now, I have one other black entertainment joke that I can't do tonight because, all right, I'll ask my black friends because they've obviously been very good sports. Now, sir, what is your name again, honey? Lex? Less. Like more is less. Or less is more. Now, Les, is it okay if I do this joke?
Yeah,
oh, my God. He is fantastic. Now, remember, just clap it up for Les. Thanks, man. Now, remember, if you hate me after this joke, don't blame me. Blame the darky. Okay. This is horrible. I can't look at you when I do this. I just can't. Oh, and there's blacks over here. Jesus Christ. Are there any over? Is this the only whites only section that you pay? Oh, I can't look at you. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, I can't even believe I'm doing this. I recently saw a rebroadcast of Blazing Saddles. It was so racist. They bleeped out the fart noises and left in the N-word. That is terrible. Everyone knows niggers smell much worse than farts. Is he laughing? Oh, shut up. I see a set of teeth and 2 eyes. Fuck you. Okay, you're awesome. Okay, here I will do my gay theatrical joke. I almost forgot. Sorry, faggots. Here we go. For all my homosexual fans, take one. Okay, this is really cute. Okay. Oh, why do faggots go like this? Because there's not always enough room to go like this.
Comedy Greats. Iconic comedians on Sirius XM. Channel 94 and on the Sirius XM app.
We apologize for this disruption in our regular programming. Thanks for your patience. We'll return to our scheduled show as soon as we can. The broadcast scheduled to air at this time on this channel is temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore the scheduled broadcast and expect to bring it to you shortly.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I'm broadcasting today using the latest equipment that they've sent me. I'll be I'll be adjusting that for the show also. It's we're going through the internet right now instead of the ISDN, which was it's an internet too. I guess if you live out in the country or you can't get internet, they would give you ISDN, and then they found out many years ago that the signal was really clean when it sent voice or music or whatever, and so a lot of people that aren't in a studio somewhere. They use this ISDN. We have a lot of them here. Now, this is called a codec, right, Steve? A codec? Right?
That's correct.
Codec. And it is picking up a Wi-Fi signal here at J. Thomas Enterprises Incorporated. And as you know, I kept asking my engineer, now where is all this equipment that's sending this signal? He said, it's Wi-Fi. I say, I know, but like, where is it he goes, it's not in here. It's out there someplace. I say, so you mean it just comes into the room by itself and it's just hanging around us the whole time? He says, yeah. And to turn it on, you just, go on and whatever the password is. And the next thing you know, now I to this day have never understood, even though I've used it a million times, I did not know it was just, I thought you had to have a piece of equipment that did it. You know what I'm saying? Apparently this Wi-Fi is coming from a pet supply store that's across the street. Does that mean I'm stealing it?
I think so.
So I have to get my own, right?
You should.
Yeah.
Because if theirs goes down, the show goes down.
Well, I went online and what's funny is I just typed in Bosco 123 and it came right up. So you mean at any minute either we could hear dogs barking or I go off the air. Now, do I sound a little low or how do I sound?
You do sound lower now.
I sound lower. Okay.
You've gotten lower as the show's gone.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2. I had to put it right there by I don't want to spit into it. 1, 2. All right, well, it's okay. They're used to it by now. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that? 1, 2. Hello.
Hello.
Any better?
Yes.
Any better?
A little better.
You could ask them if they need a better mic or something. And what's
I
funny
sent
is
an email.
It's out there.
Yeah. Just like your voice. Ooh.
You mean that my voice is kind of out there? Well,
Well, no,
this.
you're on the internet, Yeah, I know. He had it set up on his mother's walker.
Yeah, did it not sound just like this?
Crystal clear.
It sounded better,
Yeah.
actually.
It sounded way better.
I think if you put yours on a walker, you might get better signal.
No, really, I have a perfect signal. I'm looking at the strength and everything else.
You sound great, Jay.
As long as the pet store doesn't go out of business. All right,
hoping.
give me those tables. Give me all that. Give me those balls and those biscuits and pull that plug out. Like that. So I go home and I say, listen, they're giving me this new piece of equipment and I'm going to come back here and test it like in the kitchen or the living room or something. And she says, what are you going to do that for? I said, well, I can start broadcasting from home. Where would you do that? I said, I'd go upstairs, to the guest room.
To your throne.
No, to the guest room.
Yeah, do it from the toilet.
Go to the guest room and I would, she says, no, I don't want to hear it. I go, you wouldn't be hearing it. I would be in an enclosed room. The door would be closed. She said, I know, but I would hear you going, yeah, she'd hear all of it. But the main thing was she would hear me mumbling. I said, you mean to tell me that if you just heard me mumbling and you couldn't even understand what I was saying, that would be enough for you not to want me to broadcast from? She goes, that's right. It would just be, I could hear it through the door.
Yes, well, she gets that while you're home. So you're just trying to
she would hear
impose on her lifestyle 3 extra hours.
And then every now and again she'd hear this. Look.
Are you serious?
That's right. So anyway, even though I have this piece of equipment, well, the old witch has left town for a week.
What?
Going to Mexico to visit one of her newly divorced girlfriends who where apparently all these lonely women go. It's a town called San Miguel de Allende. And a lot of lonely American divorcees go there. And this woman was there like a week and bought something. And this is my wife, that it was, she and the husband yelling at each other and fighting over this guy and the kid and whatever it was. And I'd have to hear it every night. The fighting, the this, the that, whatever. And he'd been over a few times, and then I said, why don't you bring him back? Oh, no, he can never come here again. I had to go through all that. He can never come here again. Like that. I went, all right. And so they break up, and she moves to this Mexican town. And my wife took off today. So tomorrow, well, she didn't give me the password to the Wi-Fi. She refused to do that. So I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm going to call one of my kids. Yeah. Then I'm going to get the password. Then I'm going to hook this baby up. And I may actually be doing this, she's gone for a week. There'll be like fast food wrappers at my feet. I'll be in my underwear that are dirty, filthy, and disgusting. And you know what, Steve? For men, they start to stink because when we pee, some drops come out of us, spray on our shorts, and start to stink. I bet you have little yellow stains, don't you, Steve?
Yeah, all around my crotch. All the time.
You do. Men just do. We have like a hose on us. When you turn the hose off, it doesn't just go whoop. I was hosing the other night. Turn the old hose off, it still dripped. He was either talking about fucking or watering. I don't know which one. What's this show about?
Both.
What is this show about? The college football season has begun, and Kansas State, the marching band, was doing their Starship Enterprise fight song. And I don't know if we have any audio of this, Steve, but they made a rocket ship, and the Star Trek ship, or a rocket ship, was going, and I think being eaten by the Jayhawk. And they made the band made a shape, and it looked like a penis with testicles going into the Jayhawk's mouth.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Starship Enterprise, so there was the theme of they're showing the Jayhawks, but it looks more like the Jayhawks about to give some head.
And was the other team the Rockets or something, or it was just a?
No,
they weren't making fun of the other team, like suck us. Or?
I don't think so, because it was Kansas State, which they're not.
Jayhawks.
Well, no, Kansas is the Jayhawks. Kansas State is like the Wildcats or something.
Oh, wait a minute. So they made a Jayhawk.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Kansas State is an arch rival of the Jayhawks.
Mm-hmm. And they were playing South Dakota.
So why would their band suddenly have a Jayhawk, which is the state bird? Wait a minute. Let me do like that. Wait. Just don't. You know what? I don't need you. Ooh.
I mean, you sound like you're struggling.
1 1 1 1. Does that sound better? 1 2 1 2. No, it's because of the. You're not going to believe this. The rubber on the microphone. Hold on. The rubber on the microphone is weird, and it won't bend. It won't bend. I put it up. It looks like It does. It looks like, Rupert Murdoch's dick. It's like just goes up and then until he sees an Asian woman who wants to take all of his money, then goes right back up again. 1 2 3 4. Does that sound better?
Yes, you sound good.
I haven't worn one of these since I was behind the mic at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Hi, everybody. It's Jay Thomas here in the mine shaft. That's what they were. They were the 49ers because they're on Highway 49. Highway 49. So they were the 49er, like the, whatever it was, the California.
Has encountered a horrible space creature.
The space creature's the Jayhawk with its mouth open. Christina, can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
So remember now, that's the Jayhawks are the enemies of the Kansas State band, okay?
Uh-huh.
So did the announcers say anything after that? Did they comment?
No, that was all there was.
But
it was people started tweeting and putting pictures on, Facebook and whatnot. So then it started to explode, and then even the head of the marching band posted a chart to show what it was supposed to look like. And it kind of looks like it, but at the same time, the Enterprise is a little phallic, and it's going in and out of the Jayhawk's mouth.
I want you to hear the announcer. It's almost impossible to imagine. And I listen to, especially on the NFL channel, with the worst announcers. And then now that college football is starting, since they don't want to ever have any controversy at all, they will no longer ever hire any announcers that have any, individuality, idiosyncrasies, fun to listen to. There used to be, like Johnny Most in Boston. Hello, everybody, Johnny Most. And then you had this really sarcastic guy in Nashville for years. I forget his name. But when, like, Vanderbilt or somebody was playing, you could hear it in his voice. You go, well, it's another fumble for Vanderbilt. I'm sure they must lead that in league stats this year. Like, he would be so sarcastic, right? Mm-hmm. So now nobody can do anything. And so that's why I was listening to Tim Brando that I've known forever. And he's a personable guy. My buddy Charlie Steiner is interesting with the Dodgers, who they never mention. They never say that he's the guy that's going to take over for Vin Scully, which is a big deal in L.A., right? And they never mention his name. It's odd. Of course he's my friend. They never mention his name. He's been there for 14 years. So, but listen to this guy. They hire these guys that sound like this all the time. Play it again, if you can.
It appears the Starship Enterprise has encountered a horrible space creature.
Okay, thanks. That's the local play-by-play announcer. The Kansas State Marching Band has sent this out to all and anyone that wanted to download their apology. Frank Tracz. I assume he sent this. I'm just going to, you don't know with all the hacking. You have no idea. A chart was sent, and it shows what looks like it's supposed to be the Starship, and it's heading toward the Jayhawk with its mouth open. Even in this chart, it looks like a tractor is delivering a penis into the mouth of the Jayhawk. Steve and Christina, please look. Look at can you bring to make you laugh is a big deal when you laugh like that. Can you bring that chart up, please? For those of you who are at home, in your office, or in your truck or car. By the way, I don't have a microphone in front of me, so I'm basically just speaking. I'm speaking to a corner because the mic is like. So I'm staring straight ahead like a blind person and talking to no one. Anyway, I want you to know that this chart is the explanation of how it cannot be a penis going into the Jayhawk's mouth. Mm-hmm. When you bring this up, K-State Marching Band and their apology, I want you to email me at jthomasshow@gmail. Please call us here or call the voice box 347-6-SIRIUS and tell me what you think. Because why would the Kansas State Wildcats even want to put the Jayhawk up there, even though it's the state bird? The chart below represents the drill from last night's show, allegedly from Frank Tracz. 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 Yeah. Tracz. That's Czechoslovakian for track. There was absolutely no intent to display anything other than the Enterprise and the Jayhawk in battle. If I am guilty of anything, it would be the inability to teach the drill in the manner that these young people could have succeeded. I do apologize for the misrepresentation, and I assure you that I meant absolutely no disrespect or malice toward the University of Kansas. Now, here's the difference. When you look at what looks like to me a tractor delivering some sort of it looks like a penis that's shaped like a boat. It's a boat penis going into the Jayhawk's mouth, right? I think that the band members who were going to be like the tracks, they looped down too far, and it made it look like testicles. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, live, not live, but on the internet later, you'll see it. That really is wonderfully. Christina, please, he won't speak to us, but could you try and get Frank Trax to come on?
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Or anybody. Or I'll take anybody from Kansas.
Anyone from Kansas?
Any official you can get.
Because I've had plenty in my pocket.
No, this one has legs. I think
there's
this
any tractor
controversy.
drivers that tow penises too.
When these two teams play this year, I will be glued to the fucking television set. Okay.
To see if another penis shows up?
No. Oh, Kansas is probably boiling right now. I mean, all you have to do is, first of all, I'm going to say it again. Even though it's the Jayhawk state, why would this, unless he's a dumb Czechoslovakian, why would he have the Wildcats even have to stand in the, in the same formation as their enemy? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy, You wouldn't see like the LSU band line up like the Ole Miss mascot of the slave owners. You just wouldn't see that. Because that's the mascot of Ole Miss, is these two
Kansas
man
State
and a woman.
Suspended Frank Trax, apparently.
I like the way you just announced his fate like it was nothing. Oh, by the way, looks like Kansas State suspended Frank Trax, like that. Well, he'll probably be available for interviews, Christina, if we can get him on. So do you think they did an investigation and they found out that perhaps Frank was kind of
he's into birds?
No. He's a funny Czechoslovakian instead of a stupid one. He's a funny one. Now they're going to have to find out if he gave instructions for the bottom half of what looked like this Land Rover or whatever it was, Moon Rover, to sink down so they look like testicles. I'd be great in an investigation because even if you're innocent, I can say things to you that make you sound like. So, thank you for talking to us today and taking time out of your busy day. So when you were doing the Jayhawk, by the way, was terrific. The Jayhawk's mouth open. So then you get the band members to come in. Was that a Moon Rover that was carrying the rocket? Yes, it was. That's how they talk in Czechoslovakia. Yes, it was. It was a Moon Rover from this space. You mean the ones that we used on the moon? Yes, it was like the ones that used on the moon. Yes. Well, Mr. Trax, so you had this Land Rover thing, and the bottom of it is usually flat. Yes, it's flat. It's flat. It's got the land track. That's right. That's tracks. Did you direct them to go flat, underground flat? Just like flat, like a parallel line. But it seems like it bowed. No, it looks like a testicle. That's right. It looks like a testicle. I didn't tell them that. I said flat. They did the testicles themselves. There you go. I would have gotten to the bottom of it. Okay? And then one time I'd have done this. So let me ask you this, Mr. I made a mistake and gone into his voice. I'd have done it all. By the way, later on, the great actor Wendell Pierce, who is from New Orleans, you know him from Treme and The Wire. People know him as Bunk from The Wire, and he's I don't know him, certainly know who he is, but a guy like me from New Orleans and acts and lives in L.A. and every place else, and he's got a play going about Katrina. So it's a big deal, Christina. Is he going to be in the studio, or is he recalling?
No, it'll be over the phone.
Yeah, he just seems like a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, I hope it turns out well. Don't you hate it when you admire somebody and then you meet them and they're not so nice?
Yep, it's one of the casualties of this job.
I got 2 words for you. John Cusack. Okay? 2. There you go. Never met the guy. Love him. Never met one person that said that he was like a nice person. Never met anybody that said, oh, what a great guy, and one of my favorite actors. He's now in one of the most horrible movies ever made. He and Jackie Chan are doing some $100 million Chinese production called Dragon Blade. Mm-hmm. And I guess he and Adrian Brody must have thought they were going to, just do this thing in China. No one would see it. It's the biggest hit in China, and now it's come to the United States. And go online and please find me a couple of reviews, either one of you, on Dragon Blade. I'm sure, Steve, whoever saw it, every review that I've read, they're having the time of their lives trying to tell you how horrible it is. And you've got John Cusack, and it's not a comedy.
Got a 36 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. He's a warrior. He's got a helmet and a spear, and then Jackie Chan
it's Roman.
has a helmet and a spear. Yeah,
they're Romans. Yeah.
Right, they're Romans. Jackie Chan's a Roman. And it's number one in China. And then Adrian Brody plays like Mr. Evil. Let's go to Luis, who is in Mexico. Yes, Luis, the Jay Thomas Show.
Just want to say, Mr. Thomas, that your wife is one hot piece of ass.
All right, get rid of him. Get rid of him. She's not there half an hour. And they're already calling. She probably turned her ring inside out, Steve, so no one would know.
That's right.
Let's go to Jeff of Ohio. Yes, Jeff, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
Hey, Jay, I was wondering, what kind of porn do you like to masturbate to?
I like to masturbate to you and your wife when she's putting your penis in a waffle iron. Get rid of him! Get rid of him! Ouch. Jason, you're in St. Louis, and now you're on the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, go ahead. What do you think of this horrifying thing, this Jayhawk, mouth open, and then some sort of a moon ship or the Enterprise delivering a penis into his mouth, and now, have you heard? The band leader is suspended. Mr. Trax.
Yeah. This is the first I heard of, and I Googled it, and I found out he was suspended there. I saw the pictures. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
You know what's sad? Okay, so that happened. The guy apologizes, whatever. It's their hated enemy, and they can't just move on. It's everything is I'm kind of this kid Geno Smith, Jason, that got his jaw was almost leveled, broken. He has screws, everything in it, by this linebacker who's now at Buffalo, has some incredible name that no one can pronounce, and he's decided not to press charges. Because many people say, he was mouthing off to the guy, they were arguing, and it's what we used to do, right? You'd slug somebody, right? So no charges. Right. I'm thinking, okay. This poor guy may lose his job over this. Did you hear me interview him a few minutes ago, the Czechoslovakian man?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't that sad? Did you hear how sad he sounded?
Just sad. He seemed like a pretty liberal guy. He was out there. He's open. Yeah. He's trying new things with the band members. And
sure, putting a rocket ship in a Jayhawk's mouth. That's so inventive right there. Yeah.
That's never been done before on the college level. And
no.
He's just trying to, spread the wealth and get some things out there. Now he might lose his job. It's horrible.
It is awful. Jason, you sound so concerned. I think you might have the wrong show, but thanks for calling. Thank you very much, Jason of St. Louis. He did say he sounded sad for the guy, didn't he? I did not mean to do it. I just mean to do it. I wasn't thinking a penis. I was thinking a roller ship. The roller ship was going like this, and the track was taking it in the Enterprise. I don't watch that show. That's the next one. The kids love that show. I don't watch that show. I was studying at the Institute. They always studied at an institute over there in Europe. Always in an institute. Did I tell you guys Friday, or Christina, you weren't here, a friend of mine's really sweet son, like 18 years old, is flying over to go to college just for the summer in Budapest, Hungary. And he flies from New York to Frankfurt, Germany. And he gets out, little Max Fliegelman gets out of the plane, and he shows him his passport, and they look at it, and he's there. He's, never been, flying to Europe by himself and all that stuff. Got some sort of a scholarship. He's all excited. And the guy says there, how long are you going to be staying? I wish I could do German, Steve. I'd do that one for you. It sounds just like my Czechoslovakian. How long will you be staying with us? And little Max Liegelman says 97 days. And the guy takes his passport, goes in the back, and they come out. They handcuff him, and you just sounded like Scooby-Doo. They handcuff him, and they put him in a room. And they unlock the handcuffs, and he sits down. There's no water, no food, and no explanation. They take his bags, and that's it. So then another guy who might have been older than that, he gets put in there with him. And they stay in this room together for 2 days with no water and no food. After about 18 hours, one of the guys comes in and says, you can either have food or make a phone call. So he, I guess, calls maybe the teachers, I don't know, calls somebody. They call the parents. Of course, it's a big, hubbub. And they get the American embassy involved. And the guy goes down there, and it takes him 48 hours. And then Germany takes him, puts him on a plane, and sends him to Serbia. Okay. And he lands in Serbia, where they will look at his passport and then allow him to fly to Budapest. Okay? So I'm at the parents' house the other night. The kid's okay. Everybody's fine. And the TV is on. And it shows these German people lining up in the streets, hailing the immigrants that have just arrived. They are welcome. They have signs, welcome, let this be your home, welcome, welcome. And I wasn't thinking. I said, look at that. Look how hospitable these Germans are being. And my friend says, not to Max Fliegelman they weren't. He got all upset. Not to Max Fliegelman. He went fucking nuts. Apparently, if you say you're staying longer than 90 days, you're in trouble. And the kid didn't know that. So he said, the exact number he was supposed to do. So, isn't that something? That's wild, huh? Stays days and days in the... And he said, Christina, all of the German cops were in tip-top shape and looked like every German you'd ever seen in a war movie. Every one of them. What do you think of that?
It's crazy.
Offered him nothing. Nothing. Max Fliegelman. That just hit me just now. When I was doing the Czechoslovakian, the German hit me. Got me. Let's go to Trent of Binghamton, New York. This Kansas State thing has legs, Steve. It has legs. This isn't going to stop with a suspension. They've got to get to the bottom of this.
They also fined themselves $5,000. The school fined themselves.
No, they did not.
Yes,
they didn't fine themselves.
They fined themselves.
This is just as good as the people in that Dan Brown book, the Catholics that beat the piss out of themselves with the fucking whips. What are they? The Opus Dei. They whipped themselves. Mother Teresa was one. She would whip the shit out of herself. I wonder if Mother Teresa ever took her 2 fingers, Trent, and slapped the top of her clit. You ever think she did that?
I got a message.
Well, you know what, Steve? She liked to be whipped. Maybe she just slapped the top of her clit with the 2 fingers.
Just as long as it's not on top of the head of the little man.
I just did that because I do sight gags and I hit myself, and the top of that hurts. Let's go, Trent.
The top of your clit?
No, when you hit your top of your penis with the fingers. Trent, go ahead. Binghamton, New York.
Jay, I just watched the video of the Kansas State band, and you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a big purple-veined African-American mule pecker just skull-fucking the shit out of that Jayhawk.
Wow. All right. Write that number down. Write that number down. Going right to the... You think I'm kidding you, don't you, pal? 570. Yep. We send this number in. Sorry, pal. Bye-bye.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Wait till the authorities call him. Okay. He'll be sorry he ever did that. Okay. Let's go to Ford, who is in California. Hello, Ford. It's Jay Thomas.
Hey, hello, Jay.
How many people said to you, and they thought it was funny, oh, your name's Ford. What's your brother's name? Chevy? Buick? They do that to you?
Yes, I was ridiculed like that as a child with that name, yes.
Why would your parents give you that name? Were your parents not bright enough to know that was going to happen? Even though that's a stupid joke and everything else, it's probably why you stutter.
I don't think so, Jay. I was adopted, so I really can't speak on behalf of my biological mother or father.
Wait. You were adopted with the name Ford?
That was my birth name, and my adopted parents decided to keep it.
Okay, that's a mistake. And I know something about giving children up. I've done it, so I'm an expert. Let's say I'd given JT up, and I said, here's little Buick, and I give them little Buick, right? They're not going to keep the name Buick. They're not going to do that. They're going to change it. So your parents should have changed it to something. Okay? So first of all, you're already adopted. That screws you up right off the bat. Then your name is Ford, and people make fun of you. Did they ever call you? Did they ever say things to you? I know you're adopted. Does that mean you're a pre-owned Ford?
That's a good one.
Thank you. By the way, I was pretty good at torturing poor unfortunates. That's sad, isn't it? Ooh, that's a bad one. But it's a good one, in a way. Anyway, Ford, I'm glad you called. Go ahead.
Yes, I was at that game the other night.
No, you weren't. No, you were not.
Okay. I'm sure I was. I was there. I had my plane.
You were really at the Kansas State game?
Yes, I was. My nephew goes there. He's my godson, so I went out there to go see him.
I apologize for everything I said to you up until this point.
Okay.
Right.
So, we're out there. We're watching the game. We see that thing go up on the scoreboard. It looked very appalling. And then it came to me last night as I was fucking your white skull fucking that.
Get rid of him! Get rid of him!
You invested some time there.
He was pretty good, actually. He uses 2 phones. Let's go to Greg, who's in Oklahoma. Hello, Greg. It's Jay Thomas.
Hey, Jay. Thank you for your service.
Thanks. Why do you guys? Hold on a second. Why do you guys? And only the guys do it. Why do you steal my shit from me and then give it back to me? I don't understand that. It's something that I say. I don't mean. You're like one of these guys that would go up to, like when Steve Martin did, I'm a wild and crazy. He once said that he would have never done that if he thought that people were going to say that to him. It is I don't know why people do that. It's your bit. So why would you steal somebody? This woman from Laugh-In died. Judy Carn died. And she was the sock it to me girl. And that was considered, nasty. And she was so famous, she'd come out of a door and go, sock it to me. And people, oh, my God. And they would throw water on her and all kind of stuff. She retires from the show. She hates it. She becomes a drug addict. Everyone just knows her as the sock it to me girl. She'd walk down the street. People would yell, sock it to me, and throw water on her. She became a heroin addict. Try and live with that the rest of the day. Okay, Greg?
Okay. I thought I heard you say one time that you wanted to be greeted with, thank you for my service.
If you see me in the airport or something, not on the radio, this doesn't count. Of course I'm here now. When I'm in the airport, you come up and you go, thank you for your service. And then people that don't know me, they say, I'm sorry, are you a part of the armed services? And I go, now I get to tell one of my lies. Yes, I am. I had the most kills in Iraq, 2007. Really? Yes, I did. F-35, most kills. Oh, I've done that before. Yeah. Then if they say, aren't you the actor? Then I go, oh, he's saying that about the acting. But if they don't know who I am, I can go right into it. How about this one? Yes, I wrote a book called How to Kill a Militant with Your Bare Hands. I don't know if you know it or not. but it's a pretty big book. I've killed a few with my bare hands. Oh, yeah, I'd say it right to them. And they're shocked. Go ahead, Greg.
That's very interesting. Did you happen to see the video of those two jackasses in San Antonio that targeted that judge?
They say he was. They say that he was trying to hit the refs or something. The kids.
Yeah. The strong safety come up and knocked the piss out of him. His hat flies off, and then the safety comes up and dives on him.
Yeah.
They suspended both the kids from school, but I don't know. I think they ought to be thrown in jail for that crap.
Yeah. Where is it? What state is it in?
San Antonio.
That's in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't believe you
I don't
didn't
care.
see that.
No. You know what? They make too big of a deal about football in Texas. Too big of a deal. Did you ever see that television show, Friday Night Lights, or read the book, or see the movie? I'll never go to Texas. I was born there. I'll never go back. Never go back.
It's pretty big in Oklahoma, too.
All right, good, Greg. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right.
So, Stevie, they jump on the referee, right?
Yeah, it was retaliation for, I think, for other kids getting kicked out or some calls that they were making. Mm-hmm. But the guys are lined up behind the ref, and the ball snapped, and one kid just nails the ref to the ground. And then the rest on the ground, the other kid basically just spears him right into the ground again.
And of course, all the flags are flying in and everything else, right?
Yeah, they stopped the game right then and there.
I've never heard. Well, I've seen guys, touch.
And it's not even near, it was a running play, so, all the action was at the line of scrimmage except for these two guys who just take out this ref.
Wow. So if you touch the ref at all, if you hit him with your stomach or anything, you're out of the game, almost out of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these kids beat the shit out of the ref.
Basically.
You learn that shit at home. I'm sorry.
They're both ejected from the game, but
you learn that shit at home. Some horrifying group of individuals raise those kids. Unless there's something wrong with a kid. Oh, I've had nutty kid behavior too, which hopefully they didn't learn at home. But they kind of don't do it all the time. I don't know how else to say that. But there is some level of kid that you will coach or see that something weird's going on at home, and that kind of violence is crazy. I don't think when my kids played sports, they'd ever hurt anybody even. I mean, I don't even know that I yell at the refs and stuff. I don't think I do that yelling. I yell a lot at the game, but I don't yell at the refs. So when they were playing sports and something be called against them or whatever, they would just go for it. They all, they played baseball, basketball, football. They would just do it. There were some kids that when they were called for something, they acted really weird. And I remember, boy, there must be something at their house when you do something wrong. It's a terrible thing, right? Terrible. Like, I was at the pool the other day, and there were some bees by the pool. And there was a guy with his daughter. And so she was scared to death of the bees. And just a couple of bees came by her, and she got up, and she ran out of the way of the bees. And the dad goes, "Don't do that, please. Don't run around like that. And they're not going to do anything to just lie back down." And I'm thinking, I wanted to say to him, how do you know that? What are you, nuts? I didn't care. Kid gets up, wants to run around, away from the bees. I would go, okay. He was making a big deal out of this kid frightened of the bees. I'm telling you, that's going to put a weird thing in that kid's head. So finally gets the kid to settle down, and the bees come back, and the kid's stone still. I wanted a bee to bite that father so badly. I tried to will it. I made my eyes really big. I put my fingers out, and I tried to will it. I wanted that bee to strike him. Hands up in the air, then go right down to his leg, like that. I wanted to bite right in the really soft flesh part. Pooh, that's gotta hurt. Anyway, let's go to Dana of Canada. Yes, Dana, J. Thomas, go ahead.
Hi, Jay. I'd like to bring you back, but you slap yourself in the cockhead again. I have one a little better than that I'd like to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're, you know, them pens that you get for when when people have diabetes that you can dial the needle in and out to check your blood. Well, I had a buddy of mine. He dialed it right back, so it wouldn't really do anything. And anyway, we were trying to dope another guy in there. And anyway, he pricked himself in the dickhead and said, "See, it didn't hurt." And then he dialed it all the way out, and handed it over to him, loaded it, handed it over to him. Anyway, he fucking threw his jeans. He fucking snapped his dickhead with it. Well, mister, you want to talk about doing some dancing? Oh, we laughed and laughed and laughed over that.
Wow.
But I can just imagine how much that would hurt.
Wow. Well, thank you, Dana, for sharing that diabetes pinprick story. And I use the word prick, and I mean it on both sides. Thank you very much, Dana of Canada. Sometimes I just have to turn the show over to you. That's what I do. Why fool around when you have top-notch talent like that, people that have thought out a bit, they have a beginning, a middle, and thank God an end. Let's go back to Russ of Colorado. Yes, Russ, it says here you are a Kansas State official?
No, I'm a graduate from Kansas State.
Okay.
And let me just say, Jay, wouldn't you like to, being an alumni, this is going to be something I'm going to be able to have for the rest of my life, that a dick is going in my arch rival's mouth.
Yeah.
And it's by your band. And it's video of it. It's
now going to be, it's going to be a t-shirt.
It's a joke that no one else can duplicate, though. No other band is going to be able to have anything near anything going against their arch rival ever again. But
do you think that this guy was not aware, and he maybe let the band members help him, pick this event, and he said, "Why don't we have the Enterprise or whatever?" Do you think that he's not aware of what was done, and he's just like a foreign guy that doesn't get it, or has he been there for a long time?
Well, I don't know how long he's been there, but Kansas State is literally one of the most conservative universities in the country. It's right-wing as you get for a university. And I really can't believe that he planned that. But, sometimes the accident is what counts. On video is a dick going in a Jayhawk's mouth. That is just, I online, I didn't even click on it because I thought it was just going to be like a phallic symbol kind of deal because I'd seen the headlines. But a dick going in a mouth. If that is true, I can't wait till somewhere I get good enough reception I can check.
It is a missile of some sort. It is a group of band members that look like kind of a spaceship missile thing, and then it was supposed to be like a tractor, but instead of the tractor tracks being square, the band members drooped down and made a loop out of it, so it looks like testicles. So it does look like a penis and testicles. That's what it looks like. Otherwise, it would look like a tractor delivering a penis into a J. It still would be good, but no, when you see it, it's all testicles.
Well, I'm 52 years old. I graduated 30 years ago, but this will be something that people that I went to school with at K-State, how can we not bring this up over a beer? It's just, it's.
I am now a Kansas State fan.
Well, I know. I remember how much you disliked calling the quarterback a couple years ago when Johnny Football won. You were saying, Colin Klein, about how much you disliked him because he was a virgin and all that, and he didn't deserve to win the Heisman.
Right.
Think of it. Think if this was USC and UCLA. The press it would get would be mind-boggling.
It would be a Bruin's penis going into a Trojan's mouth. Wow. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go to William of San Diego. Yes, William, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
Hello, Jay.
I'm recovering myself from a bunch of bee stings just the other day.
I see.
When I was outside, I was being chased by these things, and at the same time, I was willing my cock into your wife's mouth. I was giving it to her hard, Jay.
Christina, you're telling me that this guy has 9 telephone numbers, 9 different numbers. Where does he work? Is he like a hacker? What is he? Are you a hacker? How do you have so many?
More.
You have 2 more numbers?
I don't know. I mean, you can just handle these. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah.
I'm not doing very well on
Yes,
it.
do that thing with your finger. Yes.
Yeah. See, why bother? Just let it happen.
I knew when he said he was in the hospital for what is he saying?
Upper decker.
Oh, that's when you like poop in the upper tank of the toilet.
50 Sanchez. Yes.
No, that's different.
50 Sanchez.
Marry me for green card. Yes.
So dumb.
All right, thanks a lot. To me, there's some guy sitting someplace, and not a young guy, calling a radio station, a channel, and going, put my dick in your wife's mouth, pee pee poo poo wah wah. I mean,
yeah,
the image of that is so ridiculous, And then he has to go and keep driving along in his truck, deliver. He's like a guy that probably drives one of those snack trucks that fills up the snack machines.
Right, but when you talk about him, he's driving with his hand wrapped securely around his penis because it's making him so excited.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Absolutely.
think so.
I talk to these people, Jay, on a regular basis.
And they get excited?
Yes, very. It's it almost makes me nervous how excited they get for you.
I don't get excited. I'm on the air, so
the less you get excited, the more they get excited.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I should go with this new equipment. I may be able to get into my car and drive around and broadcast. Now, here's my question.
That sounds illegal.
Can I get Wi-Fi in my car, Steve? I bet I could. I could make listen to this one. My phone will be a hotspot. I read that in a book. Yep, I read that in a book.
How long till you figure it out, though?
My car could be a hotspot. My whole car. The whole thing. Mm-hmm. You know what my password's going to be? Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, my cat. I love my cat. I miss him. If anybody ever hacks into my shit, remember, if you ever mistype my cat's name, you're finished in my book. Let's go to Jeremy, who's in Texas. Yes, Jeremy, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
How's it going, Jay?
It would be like the band has like a longhorn comes out and shoves it up an Aggie's ass. I'm thinking of all the fabulous mascots whose dicks could go into the offending team's mascot. You know,
dicks, all the mouths.
Well, you know what I would like? Wait a second. Hold it a second. Who is Oklahoma's biggest rival? Who is that? Nebraska? They have a lot of rivals. So it's a Sooner, a Boomer Sooner. Oh yeah, that would be anal sex. That would have to be what is Nebraska? It'd be a guy a Nebraskan cornholing the Boomer Sooner. What do you think of that one? Sumer Boomer, whatever the fucking name of the yeah. Putting it right up his ass, and then the announcer going, as you see the Enterprise spaceship landing on top of a Sooner Boomer. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to thank Christina for her service, too, because, wow, some of the people that call in.
You know what, Jeremy? Jeremy, she bitches all the time. She has a great job. The people that call here are wonderful. I love every one of them. I don't know what the heck's wrong with you.
What did I do? What happened?
Well, the griping about the callers.
No, I wasn't griping.
How terrible it is, the calls.
Who said that? Who said?
And you don't know what it's like.
Don't
and I'm
put words into my mouth. None of that ever took place.
Hey, if you don't like marrying gay people, quit. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? You're just like that clerk woman, okay? You're just like that clerk.
You are not making any sense.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I am. I think a lot of guys listen. Know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't know about the other 19 listeners, but yeah, we love Christina.
Oh, now you're doing the 19 listeners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeremy. What?
Now listening to the replay yesterday, and I wanted to comment, and you might get rid of me. I'm not doing a mailman joke. I just want you to know
what? I don't need just fucking talk.
Okay. The guy with the school bus thing that said he had the kids on the school bus and you believed him. I was believing him. And there right there at the end, he said you could send them some mail. I just want to say he had good setup on that. That was
absolutely. Listen, they're geniuses. These losers are geniuses. They are working, I don't know what, at an office someplace in some dead end job, and they get to do this for a few minutes. If that's what they need, Christina and Steve, then I guess I'm here for them. That's how I feel.
You guys are great though.
Well, thank you very much, Jeremy. Thank you.
Okay.
You know, Jeremy, I've never met a straight guy named Jeremy in my life.
Never met a straight guy named Jeremy?
I really haven't. And you sound like you might even be a big guy from Texas. Are you a large individual?
Yes, I'm 6'7".
Jesus. And what do you weigh? 325.
No, I weigh about 350.
350. And your name is Jeremy. Are you by any chance, would you be gay?
No.
Okay. You're the biggest straight Jeremy I've ever met in my life. I have to tell you.
Thank you. I guess
that's a very soft name, Jeremy. Not that it has to be a gay. By the way, it's a woman's name too. Did you know that?
I've never heard of a woman named Jeremy.
Richard Dreyfuss's first wife, or maybe his second, was named Jeremy. She was a casting director. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep.
That'd be the first.
Yeah. It's a girl or a boy's name. You're lucky you're really big, or you'd have had some trouble in your life.
Oh, they tried Jeremy all through school, and
Jeremy.
That's what they would say. Jeremy, ho ho ho. They couldn't spell, I guess.
Why didn't you do like of Mice and Men, like Lenny, and grab them and go, I just meant to hug the puppy. Why isn't the puppy moving? Moving? Yeah. I love the puppy. I was squeezing the puppy. Have you ever squeezed the puppy to death, Jeremy? Were you that big?
I love puppies. And
I know a lot of big guys love them, but they fall asleep because they have that sleep apnea, and they roll over and kill the puppy. Have you ever rolled over and killed the puppy?
No. I get shit all the time, though, because I'm so big and I have a chihuahua. And everybody's,
Jeremy, I want you to think about this and then call me back. You may not be who you think you are, okay?
Uh-oh.
All right?
Okay.
Hi, it's the Jay Thomas Show. In case you just tuned in today, we're having people call who we know are gay, but they don't.
When you're a songwriter and the songs start coming really fast, you don't fight that. The rhythm is Spanish. There's a piano solo in the song. I don't do many piano solos.
There's something I do called banjo fingers, which I've done on a few songs.
I felt like I had come to the end of a book that I was writing. I want to do something else.
The Billy Joel Channel, now extended through March 15th.
Music, stories, memories. The Billy Joel Channel on Sirius XM, Channel 18.
For P150, P150GA, P150OK, P150TN, C250A, C250E, C250Q. Not available in all states.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. 1-800-809-5759. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-809-5759. That's 1-800-809-5759. 1-800-809-5759.
I started drinking when I was 13, and alcohol eventually led to cocaine, ecstasy, and meth. The result was multiple brushes with the law, a fed-up family, and bleeding ulcers so bad that I couldn't eat or sleep. I was a bright kid with a lot of potential, but drug addiction had taken away everything that I valued. Finally, my loving grandmother had enough and gave me an ultimatum. go to rehab or get out. And thank God she did. My life is so much better now. I'm a recovery advocate for the iRecover helpline, and I get to help people who are sick like I was. Alcohol and drug abuse destroys families, but there is a solution. I've seen firsthand how well iRecover works, and if you call now, we will pay for your flight to the newest iRecover treatment center in Palm Springs, California. My name is Thomas at 877-415-6764. That's 877-415-6764. Call 877-415-6764 or visit iRecoverHelpline.com. That's iRecoverHelpline.com.
Comedy Central Radio brings you the biggest names in comedy. All day long, you'll hear from the best stand-up comedy from Comedy Central's massive library. Every weekday night, you'll hear 2.5 hours of comedy for your drive home. And for your Friday drive home, it's an uninterrupted hour-long special from artists like Amy Schumer, Kevin Hart, Hannibal Buress, and Jim Gaffigan. We've got holiday specials and guest comedian takeovers. You never know who will stop by. We're Key and Peele. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, it's time to get burned. We're live at 6 p.m. Eastern with The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder. Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95.
This is Sirius XM Comedy Grace.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for opening day with a tour of spring training beginning Tuesday. Hear on-site broadcasts with all 30 teams.
With the ace of the Mets, Matt Harvey. Justin Pedroia with Mike Trout.
The latest news from every camp and expert analysis of your favorite team. It all starts Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern with Casey Stern and Cliff Floyd in Arizona with the Diamondbacks. MLB Network Radio tours spring training. Sirius 209, XM 89, and the Sirius XM app.
Should you worry about identity theft during tax season? Yes. The IRS has reported over $6 billion in fraudulent refunds in a single year due to identity theft. Does it matter if you're not getting a refund this year? No. Thieves can use information from your tax documents to steal your identity well after tax season ends. Can disguising yourself make you less likely to have your identity stolen? No. Your friends might not recognize you, but it won't help with identity theft. Fortunately, LifeLock can help. If you're a victim, our U.S.-based team of specialists will work to resolve your case. If needed, we'll spend up to $1 million hiring lawyers and experts to set things right. Don't wait till you have a problem. Get LifeLock for peace of mind now and all year long. Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And now you can get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code COVER. LifeLock.
You know your kids are smart, but did you know enrolling them in Kumon can make them even smarter? Like 10-year-old Christine.
I went to Johns Hopkins and I took a geometry class.
The Kumon method is designed to put your children ahead of their peers in math and reading.
I've been doing Kumon since I was 3.5 years old. Right now we're doing the Pythagorean theorem.
To learn more, visit Kumon.com and join us for a free parent orientation. That's Kumon.com. Kumon, where smart kids get smarter.
JDRF is the leading global organization funding type 1 diabetes research. Their mission is to accelerate life-changing breakthroughs to cure, prevent, and treat type 1 diabetes and its complications. Their staff and volunteers in more than 100 locations throughout the U.S. are dedicated to advocacy, community engagement, and their vision of a world without type 1 diabetes. Support JDRF's life-changing research and help turn type 1 into type none. For more information, please visit jdrf.org or follow them on Twitter at JDRF.
You hear him every morning on the Opie with Jim Norton show. Now, see Jim live on his Mouthful of Shame tour. Sponsored by Sirius XM.
What a delightful time we're about to have.
From Connecticut to Colorado, St. Louis to San Antonio, covering over 30 cities, it's Jim Norton's Mouthful of Shame tour.
I have glitter on my zipper. I have no idea how it got there.
Check out JimNorton.com for tickets and a complete listing of tour dates. Sponsored by Sirius XM.
Oh, there goes the neighborhood.
You're listening to Comedy Greats on Sirius XM. Comedy Greats, iconic comedians on Sirius XM. Channel 94 and on the Sirius XM app.
Slaying the truth, whether it's real or not.
There's no room for honesty on the Jay Thomas Show.
And now, your truth seeker, Jay Thomas.
Pro football season is beginning, and all the teams are talking about what they're doing to make them winners. You know, Pete Carroll, and now, of course, I hate Seattle because they got the guy I love from New Orleans, Jimmy Graham. But also, they are so touchy-feely that there's no yelling and no cursing. Or they try to keep it down anyway at the Seahawks. But fatherly counsel that if you drop a pass or something, not to worry, just focus more. That's what they do. They've hired a former competitive surfer turned human optimization specialist, Steve, who enlightens players in the arc of the journey rather than the arc of the pass.
And like after one of them, shit.
Oh, I know. This is the Seattle Seahawks. And, of course, they lost the Super Bowl. Look, a pass was thrown and a great play was made by a defensive back from New England. And for some reason, you just... That happened. Russell Wilson didn't do anything wrong. The receiver didn't do anything wrong. The linebacker or the safety or whatever made a great play. And they just ought to go, congratulations. It's like playing, in the U.S. Open. The guy moves to the right, and this unbelievable shot goes back to the left. They're not like, oh, my God, what was he doing? Why was he going? Why did he move the racket like 4 inches to the... I mean... There are great plays that are made. It's not just mistakes, right? It's like, a guy falls down or they blow a play and a guy runs by himself and he wins the game, or they leave a guy open and he shoots the last bucket or whatever. But if a guy drives down the lane and you are covering him and you go up with him and you do everything you're supposed to do and he loops it over your fingertips and scores, they vilify the guy that was covering him. It drives me nuts. It's stupid. So weird. They're like in despair over their loss in the Super Bowl and, what are they going to do and all. And, what they have to do now is turn their despair and be mindful and seek high-quality moments. I have hated the Seahawks for a few years. My hatred for them has just grown. Grown. And my love of all of these players that are coming out as non-believers. I don't even want to... The word atheist is too difficult to say. The word atheist sounds like you believe in something, right? That's too much energy. It's like... And Tim Tebow wasn't a big... proselytizing a guy on the field. That's why I like Tim Tebow. He knew what he was going to do since birth. That's what his family does. They're like missionaries and stuff. So and he may preach on the weekends or whatever, but he didn't give crazy interviews about God and stuff. I loved him. I was sorry they got rid of him. I liked it. And I thought, what a great player. Oh, my favorite player is I like him. Yeah. Anybody pick him up today? Anything happen?
Not that I've seen.
I've been praying for the boy. How about that guy? He's done everything he's supposed to do. He's huge. He's won the awards. He's been number one his entire life. He leaves college. He's number one, close to number one pick. And then it's just not working out for him. It's like the heathens are holding him back. Boy, I bet don't you know, Steve, he's really calling on, the big guy in the sky, Steve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Calling on him. Oh, damn it. Oh, he doesn't say that. And you know what? These are all trials for him. These are just his trials, what he has to go through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Different than me. Setbacks to me meant that others had to be hated even more, Christina. That's what you do. Others have caused it. I'm not on trial. I did what I was supposed to do. I'm perfect. They hate me. I told you I'd say that to my agent. He would say, so you're telling me that the president of Universal Pictures sent a message down to the casting people that no matter how good you were, don't put Jay Thomas in that movie. I go, well, I don't know if it came from that high, but it came from up there. He used to say that to me all the time. I think someone stopped it from happening. Can't understand. It was perfect for that part. He goes, what do you think? The vice president called down? VP? That's the kind of representative I have. Mm-hmm. Instead of one that says, you're right. I have a friend, and her sister is a huge star. I can never say her name. And this huge star, sister of my friend, is batshit insane. Like, batshit insane. And she has been huge. She's fantastic. Everything. Movies, theater, television. Gigantic. Has like 3 or 4 kids from 3 or 4 husbands. Everybody's nuts. Everybody's insane. The whole thing. But I think the batshit crazy movie star sister gives everybody else in the family money, right? So not a lot is said. Well, she never stops working. Ever. Because she puts butts in seats, right? And every time we go to something or we go to a barbecue or whatever, there's some incident with the batshit crazy actress, right? And writes some sort of poetry or something. And I'm reading about the poetry, and the publisher, who just wants the batshit actress's poetry or something out there, says that every word of it is spectacular. It's fantastic. Like that. It's because of butts and seats. That's another thing that happens. There are people that are evil and crazy, and they start working in this business, and everyone tells them how great they are all the time. All the time. And I mean, I remember guys would say, about like Roseanne. Remember Roseanne? Roseanne was really rough to work for, right? And look what happened. Once everybody found out she was kind of like off the tracks, she never worked again, right?
What? Roseanne?
Yeah, Roseanne. Remember when she was on TV?
Mean she never worked? She's on TV now.
Yeah, but not like she was. Not like the big... She didn't...
Yeah, but that was her own sitcom.
I got you. She made tons of money. But what I'm saying is, as soon as it was over, there was nobody there helping to lift, keep her going.
I guess.
Right. Because,
I didn't know she wanted to keep going. I thought she wanted to disappear for a little while, do stand up, maybe. I don't know.
No. You have such a weird view of all.
Don't say I have a weird view. You have an actor's view. You have an inside view. I'm just a regular person. It doesn't make me weird. You're the weird one in a group of normal people.
You are a big actor, big actress.
Me?
No. This is the example. And you're hard to work with. But they need you, and they make millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. Then you do a few things, and you're hard to work with, and you're not exactly as important as you used to be. They don't stick with you. They don't use you anymore. That's the only way it changes. That's it. It's the only way it changes.
What happens when you've played a character for so long that you just can't be seen in any other way for a little while?
I don't know. That's just bad luck. Here's the problem. If you've done that, you should go back down and be the 3rd or 4th lead, which a lot of people do, or somewhere in the middle, or have a scene or whatever. A lot of actors want to change completely, and they want to star and stuff, Mm-hmm. Like, how about Tim Allen playing the guy that became Santa Claus? That's crazy. And he turned that into this huge part, right? Now, that doesn't happen too often either. He just goes and he becomes this big. And then he did some other movies, and nothing great happened, and he went back on TV. It's because he likes to make a living.
Right.
I think he did some more movies and went, well, this isn't going where I want it to. And they said, I consider those like, workman-like actors. That's what I consider them. You know, they like to go to work. He's from Detroit, right? He's done some time in federal, I think state prison, but you know, he comes out, he learned a trade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Didn't he go away for drugs or something many, many years ago?
I
believe. For a couple of years or whatever. I told you I was in his trailer once. We're doing one of the Santa Claus movies. Steve, on his desk, there was a check for $900,000. I saw it. I saw it. $900,000 written out. It was almost like, you know, Publishers Clearinghouse had come just before I'd gotten there. And I yelled, he's in the bathroom, I said, hey man, you win that Publishers Clearinghouse thing? What the fuck's this check? It was just a bunch of stuff piled up, and it was like a check from the reruns of the show, Home Improvement. Unbelievable. Yeah. Let's go to Richie, who is in Freehold, New Jersey. Yes, Richie. Name for a type of ownership, Freehold.
Yeah, I guess it is.
You see, it drives me nuts when you don't know what it is. There's, you know,
the home of Bruce Springsteen.
I know it is, and you ought to know what freehold means. It goes all the way back to the beginning of real estate law. I'd like you to research it and call me back. All right? All right. All right. What did you call about before you go research it? Go ahead.
The gentleman that I was talking about.
I can't hear you.
The radio. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. The radio guy that guy was talking about was Don Imus. He thought you were Don Imus.
Yeah, he thought it was Don Imus.
But he thought, because Imus used to say that crap all the time.
Are you naked? That's right.
Yes. Yep.
Thought I was fucking Don Imus.
You believe that?
Ouch.
I feel even worse now.
That's awful. I'm sorry, Jay.
That's a horrible insult. And this guy was so positive that, you know, I was the guy, and he was complimenting me. But then he started saying it was a show the whole family could listen to. I didn't know what that meant. I don't think I've ever done a show like that. And so Imus would say, are you naked? And then what would happen? They'd have a sound effect. They would go like this. Sound effect, something like that, yeah.
I remember my parents used to laugh, and they used to listen to him all the time back in the early 70s.
Your mom and dad would dial that. Well, actually, I came to town, and he was on his way out. I guess he was drinking or something.
Yeah.
Doing drugs, and he ended up going to Cleveland. And I don't think I did this, but I used to brag that I beat him in the ratings and he had to leave town, which wasn't true. But so, yeah, and then he came back, I don't know, a few years later. All right, Richie, thank you. Freehold, New Jersey. Call us back after you find out.
I'm going right now.
I'm sure you are. Are you in Monroe, Louisiana? Zach, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
Hi, Jay. I was wondering if you had any plans or had been talked to you at all about doing Colbert, since you had a good relationship with the Tonight Show before. The Late Show before.
That's an entirely different group of people. I don't even know if Colbert even knows who I am. All the writers, producers, stage people, everybody gone.
Oh, wow.
The set is gone. Everything's entirely. You wouldn't even. I mean, there's probably like an 8x10.
The signed football that they promised. Your son is gone, probably.
Yeah, there's no football.
Yeah,
nothing ever happened. No, all gone. Yeah, no. I think my talk show days are over, except for the news channels or something. You know.
Oh, really?
Fine.
No kidding.
I don't really know. I don't know any of these guys. I don't know any of these guys. I did Kimmel years ago, and he had Donald Trump's daughter on and all. I don't know. I don't think I did well on the show, but no, I think that's over.
Okay.
Thanks, they could. I'll come on and talk about, unless you have something to promote or you get a disease. Maybe if I got a disease and I decided to go around talking about my disease, they'd have me.
Go on the show looking all gaunt and.
Oh yeah, I'll look gaunt. Well, I look gaunt anyway, don't I, Christina? I worry about it constantly.
Well, that's what everybody says, yeah.
I know. Thank you.
And then I fight for you, defend you.
You do fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
What do they want me to be? Overweight again?
I don't know what they want. They just want to complain about something.
Right. All right.
This time it's your gaunt face.
Right. Oh, by the way, it's Michael, dear Jay, at jthomasshow@gmail. Michael Gervais, like Ricky Gervais, who was an avid surfer and is a trained psychologist, is the key facilitator of Coach Carroll's vision for the Seattle Seahawks. He calls himself a performance strategy consultant focusing on helping talented people make the most of their skills. Rather than set up office hours, he speaks to the players on the field. He'll go in the weight room and elsewhere to address the issues of the moment. He says, I feel badly for these people who measure success 1 point at a time. But if it's a process and a journey and life engagement, you have a choice to be successful in the arc of growing. Messages to this team are all about positive reinforcement. Now, I got to tell you something. That sounds like the biggest hunk of shit I've ever heard in my life. For these behemoths, these huge, kill you at all costs, grab you, throw you down, bite your leg on the bottom of the... And what is he? He's a what a I can't even think of that word. What is it? Some sort of a coordinator of spiritual. I don't know. I hate the Seattle Seahawks. Zach, are you still hanging on the phone?
Yeah.
Didn't we finish our conversation about Stephen Colbert and all that?
Oh, yeah, we did. I was listening to you talk about the football team, and got sucked into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're supposed to hang up at some point. You're supposed to hang up at some point.
I apologize. Thanks.
Oh, he doesn't need to apologize. That's sweet.
Boy, you are so easy. I tell you what.
Well, he was nice.
I wish I was younger and overweight. You'd fall for everything I could throw at you.
Younger and overweight.
You would, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't go out with anybody that's skinnier than me. That's a fact.
I love pizza. I just like listening to you
slower,
talk.
Baby.
I just like listening to you talk, Christina. I don't want to say anything. I got all sucked into your conversation. Oh, you would fall. It would be like, are you kidding? It'd be like fishing for trout with bologna. You know? It'd be like that. You know who I am really getting sick of?
Steve, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know.
Let's put bologna on the hook.
Yep.
Look at that big mouth bass.
Is that what you're calling me, or?
Daddy, that's the only big mouth bass I've ever seen that likes pizza. Yeah. Put some pepperoni on that hook. Boom. 10 to 2, 10 to 2, 10 to 2. Get it out there. Get it out there. Give it some run. Let it run. Let it run. Let it run. I learned all that when I was in Utah. I read two things. One was, and I'm sick of it because it's stupid. When you read about people who, I don't know what their age is, but they complain about how the world has become nothing but social media and computers and the internet and everything else. I understand how fabulous it all is. And I wish I worked it better, but I don't, but I understand. But it's almost like it brings you back to when you were driving around with your dad and whatever was new, there was a big complaint about it. Whatever it was. You know, some sort of music or a CD or the VCR or what. It was always some big Megillah. Go back to the good old days and all that other bullshit. These reviewers now, Steve, I love to read movie reviews. I love them. They're hysterical, or they tell me about the movie. But I want to know if you like the movie or not. And they sometimes don't tell you that.
Right.
I like the ones that they go, this is the word, like this, the one with John Cusack and Jackie Chan. Everybody, first paragraph, it's a piece of shit. I read the whole review after that. I want to hear how horrible it is. There's this guy's been around forever, this reviewer, and Charles McGrath, and he thinks it's hard to be a reviewer now because as soon as a movie comes out or before it comes out, there's so many reviews by just people that don't know anything about movies or anything that it ruins it for the people that really know about movies, the reviewers.
Mm-hmm.
And the Internet's ruining it for them. And he's talking about all these great reviewers that were inspiring. They were great writers. It's unreasonable to expect such flair and originality from people on the Internet. But in deciding which critics are worth attending to, we can at least insist on readability, clearness of expression. No. Did you like it or not? I hated to read those reviews, and it said, well, the crisp camera work worked through scene for scene. Unfortunately, the obliqueness of Mr. Agajanian's dialogue seemed to be remiss in forcing the viewer to understand the inner workings of Juliet, the main character. What the fuck does that mean? What is it? Did you like it or not? Was she any good? That's it. I love the Internet for that. This is a piece of shit. I hate it. Whatever. And there was another. Oh, here's the other one. People don't doodle anymore. And doodling. By the way, this was a full page in the New York Times. Go get it. It is a page of doodling that they're saying is a lost art because of the Internet or the telephone or emojis or something. Doodling. When you would like doodle, and what would you draw, Christina, before?
Little circle flowers.
Do you miss that?
I still do it sometimes.
So you're talking, like right now, I'm talking on the phone, I got a little circle. You put a little dot in the middle of it?
Well, yeah, it's a little circle, and then
you know what it looks like?
5 circles around it.
It looks like a cancerous polyp you would find in a colon exam.
Oh.
Yeah, they look just like that. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to make the dot in the middle bigger, so it looks like the cancer's growing.
Good idea. That's inspiring.
Hey, Steve, I'm doodling. Oh, my God. I'm doodling a papilloma virus in someone's ass right now. That's my doodle. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I can doodle leukemia. Excuse me. I think it's a long one like that. There you go. Let's go to Mike, who's in Knoxville. Yes, Mike, remember, I used to work in Knoxville, went to UT for a while. WKGN. I'm sure it's not even there anymore. WKGN.
No, Jay, it's not. But I just coincidentally, I was listening to your show, and you had Tud Dean on?
Yeah, me and my buddy from Charlotte, North Carolina. We played football together there, yeah.
Oh, I was wondering if you could tell me that story, because I played club football for Appalachian State.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know what club was something where washed up high school guys that were too small.
No, club football was for stoners who would have been kind of good enough to play ball, but everybody was completely stoned. It's true.
Exactly.
It was fun as hell.
It's kind of like volleyball. Why I
played club. I played everything. I played anything I can play. But it was the most fun, and you had practice and everything else. And a lot of the guys were good enough to play at the other level, but they enjoyed smoking dope and hanging out or drinking or whatever, and then played football. Yeah, club was great. Yeah, Appalachian. Right.
Yeah, we played the Morganton Thunder, who were a semi-professional football team, and during halftime we would walk around and they would be passing around the fifth of liquor.
Yeah.
And then we played Gallaudet University, who was the all-deaf college.
By the way, in Florida, the deaf school has been the state champion for a long time. Isn't Gallaudet a great team also, the deaf kids?
They were surprisingly good. Yeah, we underestimated them.
Look, if I was deaf, I'd be the meanest son of a bitch that ever lived. Oh, I'd be in a bad fucking mood every single day. If anything, if ever I'm in a wheelchair, Christina and Steve, don't ever come to visit me, okay?
You got it.
Because I will be like, what do you want? What do you want to do? Pity me? You want to pity, just like in every movie. Go ahead, pity me. You want to, okay, and you want to hear the truth?
And I'd be like, Lieutenant Dan.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work down there. You happy now? You got what you want? Get out. Never. And then as soon as you leave, I go like this.
And we laugh down the hallway.
No,
because we're fake humble.
Oh, wasn't? No, you'd be sad. But just remember, if ever I'm, debilitated, I'm not going to be happy. What is it, Mike? And so, yes, Mike, yeah.
Where did you and Todd play together? Did y'all play
down at
together?
Central Piedmont Community College?
Did they have a team?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they had everything. It was all illegal.
Did you play at Memorial Stadium?
We sure did. And also, I don't think anybody ever went to a class or graduated or did anything. I'd already graduated from college and re-enrolled as a freshman. We did all. It was terrible. It was fun. Had a great time.
So it was a club team?
It was a club team, then it was a school team, then it was a club team, then it was a school team. Yeah, we did everything. We had a great time. All right, thank you, Mike in Knoxville. Thank you very much.
I love you, Jay. Thanks, man.
All right, thank you. Well, there wasn't any, no way to check on anybody. There wasn't any Google or internet or whatever. So if you would walk in and say you had never been to school before, you could re-enroll. You just,
life
there wasn't
easy.
But there wasn't a database. Like, let's say you graduated. Let's say you were thrown out of a university. You were thrown out of the school. If you wanted to go all the way back to freshman year, you would take your transcripts from high school and everything it took to get accepted somewhere or whatever, and you would just act like you worked for 3 years. And you could re-enroll any place. That's why when guys would get thrown out of one school, you would hear that they would graduate very quickly from someplace else. Nowadays, I think if you're thrown out of a school, I think they check on you, and I'm sure they can find out, I have a friend whose son was thrown out of school and he has to wear an ankle bracelet, and he did some time or something, and the other day he went into a porn shop with the ankle bracelet on. They throw you in jail for that?
Oh, yeah? Yeah. I did not know that. Good to know, everybody.
If you have an ankle bracelet,
something new here every day,
and you're on some sort of probation, there are certain places you're not supposed to go. And apparently the porn shop is one of them.
Porn shop? What about a strip club? Probably not.
That's another one, I think. I believe the
You just can't get your dick wet. That's the rule.
No, there are unsavories in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there are.
You may meet up with people in those establishments that may take you back down the road of incarceration. And so there's a list of things you can't do. And his excuse was he went into the porn shop because his buddy wanted to buy condoms. That's a bad excuse. That's a bad excuse. Yeah. Couldn't do that. Now, the strip clubs, there's a chain called Spearmint Rhino. They don't serve any booze. Because the women are totally nude, and I've never understood it. I mean, I know what the rule is. They don't want if you serve booze, they have to cover their bottom or something or other. These are totally nude. And they serve fruit juice, and you can't bring any booze in with you. So you're just there on fruit juice, and I guess you pay to get in or whatever. And it's really Steve. How does that work?
What do you mean? How does that work?
Well, how do you make any money without selling booze? But apparently they
cover charge.
Like $20?
Probably. I don't know. I don't go into
Ever been to a totally nude fruit juice bar?
Yeah, I've been in the places where it's like, because in Jersey it's like that. It's like a go-go bar if they serve alcohol. Because there's places where the girls technically shouldn't. They have to wear like bikinis. They'll still flash you their boobs and stuff, but
you'd rather go into the fruit juice place and see totally nude. And what would you do? You drink in the car, right? You drink out.
You drink beforehand, yeah.
Sure, you get loaded. Get loaded out in the parking lot. And if it's across the street from an airport, you would go into the cell phone parking lot. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretend you're on a cell phone. Drink some, what is it, Fireball?
Sure.
The worst, whatever that is. Was it cinnamon bourbon?
Yes.
No,
it's
like
cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tastes real good when it's around a fire.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes,
it's
I do.
terrible.
On glamping.
Don't drink it.
We drink
It's
it while
got
we're
something in
glamping.
it.
Don't tell me. No, it doesn't have... Stop it.
Okay, look. Look it up. Say, does Fireball have something in it?
I already
that
know
some
this.
people
Yeah,
think-
I know. It's like washer fluid or something like that, right? Wasn't it? Or something
I get it.
crazy like that?
But it must be delicious washer fluid.
It is
You're
so
defending
good.
it.
Cleans me on the inside.
Mrs. Clinton regrets her email practices. In her longest sit-down interview to date, she says she's going to answer all the questions. It wasn't the best choice. I certainly have said that. I will continue to say that she used a server in her home for government emails. Now, there's only one group of individuals that gives three shits about this, and they're all Republicans who don't like her. I don't know. I can't even imagine, I guess that people could steal it, but most of the stuff that was hacked by the guy Snowden that embarrassed the State Department and everything else, most of the emails were kind of like, well, that dictator of that country is kind of an asshole. It would be like more behind the scenes embarrassing things, right? I don't know. I don't know that there are any names mentioned. I don't know exactly what he did, but a lot of it was embarrassing. So she would get emails from work, like we get from work, right, of classified information. And everybody is upset by it. Are you upset by it, Steve?
Nope, not at all.
I don't give three shits about the woman. Christina, are you upset? And what do you think was in the emails that would cause everyone to be so upset? As just a regular
upset
person.
About it?
Yeah,
No.
are you upset by it?
No, I couldn't care less.
What do you think's in there that's getting everybody so upset? What do you think happened?
I mean, anybody's personal email or emails that you would get upset about it. It could be anything. It could be, oh, that fat ass won't leave me alone, to, right. Signing up for something that she doesn't want anybody to know that she's a part of, or, you don't know.
Or something like this. The lights go out at the Benghazi embassy about, 6:30. So why don't you tell the militants to attack then and burn the embassy down?
There we go.
Maybe she sent that. You think she sent that one, Steve? To the insurgents?
Sure.
Telling them when they could go to Benghazi? Mm-hmm. They're changing the batteries on the cameras at about, 2:15. Maybe you ought to attack then. I swear to God, that's what they're acting like. It's so ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I
so
thought
ridiculous.
That the emails for, what was that called? Bridgegate with those were worse, right? With Chris Christie?
Yeah.
Where they were actually timing out, like, when to fuck everybody over and how funny that would be. Those are a big deal. I don't think that anybody gives a shit about Hillary. I mean, have you ever sat in traffic at the George Washington Bridge?
They were trying to fuck the mayor of Fort Lee, where we have an apartment, and it's like a little town with retirees and shit in it. I mean, it's just on the other side of the bridge.
There's a lot of commuters that live there as well.
Right, but
Heavy Asian
it's not a place that you would think you would. It doesn't look like a place that would change events in New Jersey. I don't know. It's because they hated the mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey. Now, he did that, and he knew that was happening. He knew it. He had to. He knew everything.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Why are they falling on the sword for him? Don't you wonder what they... Well, Rupert Murdoch had this woman, and she was fired. Remember when they were hacking into reporters' stuff in England and all that? They fired her, and she wouldn't talk. She never said Murdoch doing it, and her name was Rebecca Brooks. Fired her. Disgraced. Everything. Guess who just got hired back at Fox? Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Disgraced. Went to court. All of it. Couple of years. Passes over. I have an around the horn for you. Maybe you know it. Around the horn. You ready?
Yes.
When the Terminator was being made, they wanted a famous athlete to play the Terminator, but they said nobody would believe he's a killer. Who was it, Christina?
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner. No one would believe that he could be the Terminator. Steve Gonzalez? Who was it?
Orenthal James.
It was O.J. Simpson. I just heard that the other day.
Boom.
I just heard that the other day. If that's true, that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard.
It's true.
Is it true? I never heard
No,
that.
I knew this. When you said that, I was like, I know exactly who this is.
That's funny.
He doesn't look like someone that can kill anybody.
Well, I mean, the courts agree, apparently.
Yeah. Well, whoa. That was actually well thought out, Miss Colbert.
Miss Colbert.
They asked me today about Colbert, and I said, he looks like a naughty minister, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's going to do the same act, except it won't be in the phony voice. But that's his humor. That's what he does. He acts silly, and he likes politics. I mean, I don't know about you, but when he gets what do you call the head of the UN? Is it the president of the UN? What do you call that? The general? What do you?
Secretary General.
Yes. When he has the Secretary General of the UN on, whose name is Mook Pak Pook or something like that.
Ban Ki-moon.
What is it?
Ban Ki-moon.
Bin Ki-moon.
Ban
Ki-moon.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a great interview.
That sounds like Fireball bourbon to me in Chinese. Yeah. So like one of those drinks. You want some Ban Ki-moon? No. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's going to do. And by the way, has anybody mentioned the English song and dance man who was doing the Late Show? James...
Craig Ferguson?
No,
James Corden.
James Corden. One of your friends, anybody mention anything about him?
No.
Steve or Christina? No. Anything about him?
Yeah, only when he first started, you just mentioned, have you seen the new guy?
I mean, I just said the old guy's name. I have no idea who you're talking about. I know.
People mostly talk about Fallon, if anybody.
Yeah. And Kimmel.
Kimmel sometimes, but it seems to be like Fallon has the foothold.
So that guy will get this paycheck, this multi-million-dollar paycheck. He'll work just like Craig Ferguson did. No one will ever talk about him. And he'll be there for 10 years if he wants to be. Now, that job, that's like being a backup to Tom Brady. Now, there are a lot of people that want to be in the forefront. I could have been very, very happy being on one of those shows, knowing I was secure and that big fat paycheck coming in, and you're on late at night. That I would have been happy with. People always ask me. I would like to be in the background. You can have this nice regular life. You can make like some small amount of people, entertain them, and then not fear for your goddamn contract every year. That's all. I'd have been a great backup. You think you're going to try and beat out Peyton Manning this year, Bill? Nah, I'm not really trying to do that. I like being a backup, making it. I make $3 million and have a beautiful home in the suburbs. Wouldn't you love a backup quarterback to say that? Marry this cheerleader, got some kids. We live in, it's great. It's fine. If he gets hurt, I'll be right in there ready to go. But it's okay. I'll be here forever. I'll learn the offense. I'll be here forever. You never hear a backup say that. I would hire that guy in a minute. Bring a guy in who is not interested in starting. What do you think of that, Steve?
Why?
Because he likes being a backup. He's comfortable. It's nice. It's easy. He knows how to play. He knows everything. He's good. But he's happy being a backup.
I mean, that's fine if you have Brady or Peyton Manning.
No, they bring in a hot rookie. I'll train them.
Okay.
Get them going.
You want a company guy, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And I want to get the rings.
Oh, yeah, solid, like a good veteran. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I can go on a plane with Ben Affleck's nanny, and he's not on the plane. I can have her wear my rings. Backup quarterback, say mighty friendly with nanny. Affleck nanny. By the way, Christina, did you invite Vanessa Ruiz to come on the show and roll her R's from Channel 12?
Did.
Ruiz.
Yes, Ruiz. I did. Vanessa Ruiz says, hi, Christina, I appreciate the interest. However, not able to do interviews. Thanks, regardless.
Did she do 3 R's?
Yeah. Regardless. No, I'm just interpreting.
Oh, hold on a minute. Please send her this back.
Yes.
Jay says, thank you, VERRRY, very much.
You got it. I'm doing it right now. Don't take it back.
Thank you very much. Like that.
You got it.
Huh? I don't fool around. Did you send me the email with the... What? Oh, my God. Somebody has hacked into my email again. Vanessa, I am so sorry. So sorry. I never admit to anything. Did you say so? I told you about this actress whose husband wanted to punch me in the nose at the Emmys, right? And she's running for president of the Screen Actors Guild or whatever. But she was the wife on Home Improvement, right? Whatever her name is. So we went out a few times. And Tim Allen says, what do you mean you went out a few times? And I said, we went out. And I said this, Christina. I said, we were an item, she slept over. She had her manager call, which is true. She had her manager call, her agent. She threatened the radio station. She went absolutely berserk. She went crazy. And I said there were no tapes of the show, that whatever it was, the recorder was broken that day, and there's nothing to hear, and I didn't say anything and whatever. We were just kidding around. But we had a relationship, and I mentioned that. She was really angry. So I'm at the Emmys, and I'm walking down the aisle to go to the bathroom or something, and I see her in the crowd, and she's got this husband that plays cowboys on TV and in the movies, Ray something or other, Ray the cowboy. And so I look in there, and she waves at me really nicely. And Ray stands up, and he's about 6'3". And I think they're saying hello to me because I've been nominated for an Emmy. And I go, hey, how are you? And she goes, yeah, well, why did you say that about me on the radio? That's my husband. She says that to me. And I did like hamna. And I said, oh, my God, are you going to punch me in the nose? And one of the seat fillers called the Inquirer. And it says, you'd love this, Christina. You could probably find it somewhere. National Enquirer. Actress's husband threatens to punch Emmy Award winner in the nose. Yeah. You'd have gone crazy. She's running for the president of the union or something. I feel like calling him up and going, are you nuts? Don't elect her. For next thing you know, she's divorced from the cowboy, right? I should have called the cowboy up. Huh, Steve? I told you she was nuts. Okay? Told you. Let's go to Marcus in Pittsburgh. Yes, Mark, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
Hey, Jay, you were talking about a backup quarterback. Well, we had a great one in Pittsburgh, Charlie Batch, from 2002 to 2012.
I love Charlie Batch.
Every year.
You know what? He was about, 5'11", about like 190 pounds. He was kind of undersized, right? He moved. Was he bald? Did he have a bald head?
Short.
He was relatively bald.
Yeah,
he had the bald.
You're right. I loved him, and he didn't mind being a backup. I do love that.
No,
what did they pay him? $2 million? $2 million?
I think when he started with them, he was about $2 million. Then after a couple of years, he dropped down to $1.5 million. And towards the end, it was like 3 or 4 years. He signed for $1 million, and he never even complained.
Right, and he would win a few games. He won a few games. He had a winning
record with us. Yeah,
absolutely. Charlie Batch
was suspended. when Benton was suspended for 4 games, he won 3 out of 4.
And he also took home, what, 2 Super Bowl rings, I believe?
Yeah, 2
Super Bowl rings, and he is so beloved in Pittsburgh, it's ridiculous.
Right. What does he do now? What's Charlie? Did it end up good? I hope it didn't end up sad.
It is good. I think he's either on one of the radio programs or TV programs in Pittsburgh doing live broadcasts.
He does pregame analysis.
Charlie Batch.
Yeah, there you go.
Back up to Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
He would just sit there and watch that. And of course, Roethlisberger, who I call Rapelessberger. I mean.
Hey, now.
Really?
No.
I mean, he's a great quarterback, but he really does look like a former fat kid back there. But he's a great quarterback. I don't know how he does it. I have no idea. He looks like a big kind of a fat guy. He runs real fast. It's hysterical. It's fabulous.
They asked Belichick today, how do you get a 6'5", 241-pound man on the ground? And he's like, yeah, he's 241, right?
He's like 260.
Well, that's what Belichick was insinuating, that it's hard to take him down, and he's more
huge.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, by the way, is it a rumor? Is Tom Brady and his wife Giselle Bundchen having a problem?
Rumor.
What are you laughing at, Steve?
The way you said her name.
Bundchen.
I haven't heard anything.
I'm trying to say it in the Brazilian, in the Portuguese. Bundchen. How do you say it, Steve?
It's Bundchen.
That's the German pronunciation.
She's
Brazilian.
She's right, but she's really German. Her
really
ancestry. Yeah.
You think maybe her grandfather was a Nazi?
Anything's possible.
Yep.
No, they both keep saying that the divorce rumors are.
They're in a great place.
Yeah, they're all lies.
Yep.
The more important thing is, did she get the boob job after she went into that place, all covered up, trying to hide the fact that she was visiting a plastic surgeon?
Really? She got plastic surgery?
She went in with she had a burqa on or something like that, and she went to a plastic surgery place with, I think, her sister or something, unless her sister got something, but then apparently she was covering herself up more than normal after visiting it.
Like her chest?
Yeah. But I haven't seen a picture of her, so updated.
I think you go in, you get the thing done, and you come out and go, I got the thing done. I mean, what's the big deal? She's got, 2, 3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the episode of Sex and the City where Tom Brady's old girlfriend that held him inside of her until his sperm went in her, Christina, and made a baby so she could have the kid and sue him later, which is what they do. I'm sorry, they do it. And she was, of course, had married big on the show.
Right.
She's the fucking giant. And they made all kinds of fun of her. She was a character, but they made a lot of fun of her. And she did see, what's her name?
Bridget Moynihan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Moynihan.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget Moynihan. Does she work at all, or she just lives off of Tom Brady's?
She's on Blue Bloods.
Oh, she's on Blue Bloods?
Yeah.
Okay. She any good on that show?
I don't watch it.
I don't watch it.
Blue Bloods. Okay. With Tom Selleck?
Yes.
Yeah. Poor Tom Selleck. Didn't Tom Selleck try to get out of his contract so he could play Indiana Jones? They wouldn't let him?
Yeah, that was with, because he was doing Magnum P.I.
Hold it a second. And Ronald Reagan was supposed to be in Casablanca. Let me just thank God. Thank you for not letting those 2 fucking zeros not available for 2 fabulous movies and fabulous actors who made them. Thank you. Those 2 guys are both backups. They starred somewhere, but they're backups. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Nice guy, Tom Selleck. At best, a backup. I don't know anything about Ronald Reagan. He was the president, but he was a backup. At West Point, every year when they graduate, they do something really silly. Let's go around the horn as my staff continues to shrink here at Comedy Greats 94. They have 5 people. They have 2. All right, here we go. At West Point, every year, for generations, freshman cadets at the United States Military Academy have marked the end of a grueling summer of training with a huge nighttime Christina? And the word fight is in there. Battle.
Fight. Chicken fight.
They do a chicken fight.
In the pool, naked.
How does a chicken... Well, I don't think...
You sit on somebody else's shoulders in the pool, and you have an opponent that's doing the same, and then you fight each other. Whoever gets into the water first wins.
Wow. Steve, I'm going to add this to it. During this fight, lips were split open, bones were broken, shoulders were dislocated, and some cadets were knocked unconscious. 30 were injured, 24 with concussion. What sort of year-end freshman fight do you think they had? Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to say slap fight, but it'd have to be a brutal slap fight to get some concussions. And
right.
I'll still go with slap fight. I got nothing else right now.
A slap fight?
Yeah.
It's a pillow fight. It's a pillow fight.
Were they putting bricks in there? Like, how hard did
that sounds sexy.
For the first time ever. Now, I've got to tell you.
Yeah, what are they wearing when this is happening?
The world is changing, but when you think of when you get in an academy, you have to have incredible grades. You have to be athletic, even if you're small. And when you get there, you have to play some sport on some level, and you're really smart and everything else. And for the first time ever, during the huge nighttime pillow fight that usually is billed as a harmless way to blow off steam, and they want to build class spirit, for some reason, these cadets this year started swinging pillows packed with helmets, pieces of metal from their uniforms. I know.
That is terrible.
And started swinging these pillows filled with, I don't know what, knocking the shit out of people, breaking their legs. Ambulances had to be called. Some may not be able to return to school. And the cadets, I guess, have gone back. Some are hospitalized. They're on, on crutches and stuff. First time ever that they filled the pillowcases with items that would hurt people. It's almost like there's almost a gang group in the military.
Yeah, it sounds like hazing, not
really weird, right? And by the way, I've been hit really hard by people. You can actually get a zipper in your eye or something during a pillow. I've been injured during pillow fights. Man, what group is that? Who thought it was a good idea for guys that are in peak shape to put like a trumpet, or a bugle? Steve, they put a bugle in one of the pillows so that when the pillow would go like this. Oh, my fucking head. All right. Now, tomorrow, hold on a second. Gary of Pennsylvania. Yes, it's Jay Thomas. We only have about 20 seconds. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, they really screwed your show up moving you to a different channel. I missed all my replays.
Really? You know what? I need one of those guys at the Seahawks.
Escape the winter routine. Take your mind on a Caribbean journey. Bask in warm tropical sounds year-round with a blender full of Jimmy Buffett's favorite island, rock, reggae, and folk songs, plus exclusive live concerts. Sail over now to Channel 24 or listen on the SiriusXM app.
If you're thinking about a memory foam or dial-up your number bed, don't buy one just yet. Not until you experience the customizable bed everyone is talking about, the Reverie Dream Sleep System. Reverie uses patented Dream Cell mattress technology with over 200 adjustment points for the most comfortable sleep of your life. Call 877-845-7400 to learn why Hollywood A-listers, athletes, trainers, and doctors are raving about their Reverie beds. It might be Reverie's zero gravity setting that relieves pressure on your back, or the anti-snore function, or Reverie's 101-night guarantee. If you haven't had the most amazing sleep of your life, return it for a full refund. Want to know why celebrities, athletes, and doctors are switching to Reverie Dream Sleep Systems? Call now to find out. 877-845-7400 or visit Reverie.com. That's 877-845-7400 or REVERIE.com.
1 in 5 teenagers will be diagnosed with mental illness this year. Let's change the narrative from one of stigma to one of hope.
I'm starting the conversation.
I'm fighting to end the stigma.
I'm posting about mental health. We're socializing hope. I like that.
Me gusta eso.
Help us tag it. Just tweet it.
Let's share it. Instagram it.
Let's snap it. Show us what you're doing to start the conversation and end the stigma.
Visit youtube.com/bringchangetomind to share your story. Together, we can bring change to mind.
You know your kids are smart, but did you know enrolling them in Kumon can make them even smarter? Like 10-year-old Christine.
I went to Johns Hopkins and I took a geometry class.
The Kumon method is designed to put your children ahead of their peers in math and reading.
I've been doing Kumon since I was 3.5 years old. Right now we're doing the Pythagorean theorem.
To learn more, visit Kumon.com and join us for a free parent orientation. That's Kumon.com. Kumon, where smart kids get smarter.
Billy Joel. Sirius XM has your chance to win tickets for Billy shows at baseball stadiums in San Diego, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Philly, Boston, and Washington, D.C., plus a grand prize trip to a show at Wrigley Field in Chicago. For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/Billy Joel Tour before March 21st. Open only to those with SiriusXM since before January 8th, 2016. No purchase necessary. The Billy Joel Channel. SiriusXM 18.
You're listening to Comedy Greats. Comedy Greats on Sirius XM. CNN presents the next GOP debate on Sirius XM.
It's debate night for the Republicans.
And it's the biggest one yet.
You have to get out and you have to vote no matter what.
One final round before Super Tuesday.
Almost 50% of the GOP delegates are up for grabs.
Hear the next GOP debate on CNN Sirius XM 116. Live tonight at 8:30 p.m. East.
All the fighting and arguing is not advancing us.
And hear your reactions afterwards on the Sirius XM Politics Channel.
This is something very special.
30-year fixed rates in the threes. Anybody who's followed mortgage rates knows that you don't let rates in the threes get away. This is Dan Smith for Private Plus Mortgage. Rates have dropped, and our customers have been locking in 30-year refis in the threes. But even better, in many cases, Private Plus is paying the closing costs. So what's your goal? Lower your payment and save money? Pay off those credit cards? Or get cash to